What is up to all you cinephiles out there?
What's up?
We have been wanting to do a review of this movie. It is the latest DCEU movie, Justice League.
Yeah, this is long overdue, but due to, scheduling conflicts and just not being able to meet up to get this done, yeah, we just haven't been able to get it done yet. So sorry it's so long overdue. Okay, let's get into it. So, initial thoughts. How did we like the movie?
Initial thoughts for me is I liked what I saw. I enjoyed it for the most part. Sure, there was some CGI stuff that could have been fixed, or probably could have I wish they kind of would have delayed the movie just a teeny bit so they could work on those things. But I thought Cyborg looked great. I thought he looked better than Steppenwolf. Superman's mustache thing, which there were sometimes I couldn't really tell, but there's other times where it was just right
noticeable.
there.
It was like, oh god, there's something going on there.
But I liked Batman, I liked Wonder Woman, I liked The Flash. Aquaman was really cool, so I'm excited for his movie. Cyborg was a great surprise. So I don't know if they're gonna continue with his solo movie or if he's gonna be put into another movie. But I want to see more from these characters, and I'm glad that we got the good old Superman back.
A lot of what he said is ditto for me. I too thought that the movie overall was good and very enjoyable to watch, considering what it went through, especially. And yeah, like it's a little bit of a mess. Like some things don't flow well. Like some things don't transition well into other things, and it's you can definitely see two directors' visions clashing. You can sometimes tell what scene was definitely Snyder and what scene was definitely Whedon, and you can definitely tell what scenes were initially Snyder but Whedon tampering and messing with the tone and the coloring. Really, I feel like this movie was messed with more than Snyder wanted it to be. Yeah. The Superman mustache thing, like you said, like sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it's not. When it's not noticeable, it's all great, and I'm pretty sure in the scenes where it's not noticeable at all are probably scenes that were just initially shot by Snyder, like way earlier, like over a year ago. And okay, there are some scenes where the CGI just it's a little messy. When Superman comes back, it's definitely the scenes where that it was initially a darker setting. That this scene, yeah, I know that scene for sure, that was going to have a darker tone, but we're talking lighting and everything. Like it was gonna look dark, and then they made it look brighter. You could tell that some of the CGI was just it just didn't look as good because it was brought into a brighter tone, and that's not the way it was initially meant. Like in the final battle thing. In the final battle, we saw shots in earlier trailers where our heroes are fighting in an environment with a dark blue sky, and now it's like a bright red sky in what we got in the final cut. And because of that, some of the CGI animation, the stuff coming out of the ground, looked a little bit more fake in that brighter light. But in the darker tone, it would have looked a little more real. Steppenwolf does look like shit with being a complete CGI and everything. Yeah. I feel like they could have done a lot better had they gone with some more prosthetics or something and try to use some CGI on him, but not all. But no, he was just a straight big CGI character, and it just didn't. He was fine as a villain. I mean, he did his part, but that was about it. There was nothing really special about him. And I was actually interested in his character and what he was gonna be, and then I was just like, oh well, he's just a stepping stone to Darkseid. So yeah, whatever. I do like how we got this brighter Superman back. Now he's bright like he's supposed to be. It's nice, but it's very different from the Man of Steel roots. Which I'm sure some people are like, oh thank God, but at the same time, it's like I kind of liked where Man of Steel was coming from. Now I understand Dawn of Justice went a little too dark, and I'm not defending that or anything. I really felt like they should have had a brighter Superman in that movie, but at the same time, this movie was messed with a little too much, and Hans Zimmer's whole theme and score is removed from it. You don't really hear it at all in the movie, and so I feel like this movie it's overall I like it for what it is. But it is kind of a mess compared to the previous DC movies. Yeah. It's not as bad as Suicide Squad in my opinion. Suicide Squad was like a complete mess story-wise. This one was still, I felt like a little bit salvaged, and it was, the focus was where it was needed to be. We still felt like a lot of the characters had some character development. I think Flash especially had some good character development. Or a good arc. Superman, yeah, like the only thing bad about Superman in this movie is the damn mustache. Is the obvious CGI, the CGI over mustache that he has. And it's obviously there, and it sucks that that happened because what happened was that he was working on MI6, the Mission Impossible 6 movie, but when he was called back for reshoots, he was obligated by contract, not by Paramount, not to shave his mustache. So, and I think Warner Brothers tried to negotiate with Paramount, saying, "Hey, how about we just let him shave it, and then we will actually CGI a mustache onto him. We'll put a fake mustache on him, and we'll CGI it as best we can and make it look like legit for your movie, so we'll finish it." And Paramount was like, no. The movie's only 2 hours long, and it's just because the Warner Brothers executives said it's got to be 2 hours so we can put in as many Showtime slots as we can, so we can try to make some money back. And that was because with the reshoots and the additional shoots and Cavill's like CGI work, I heard that cost a bit of money. Because of all of that, the movie's official budget comes out to $300 million. So they needed to make a lot of money back, and I get that. But at the same time, it's like maybe you should have just bit the bullet and released a longer cut of the movie that was better. When this comes to DVD, I expect the theatrical cut of the movie we saw. I expect an extended version of the theatrical cut that we saw, and I expect Snyder's cut to be released. There's a petition online for that, and I myself have signed it, and I feel like we deserve to at least see his vision of the movie, because I'm just interested and curious. I want to see the black suit of Superman, and I want to see this darker thing he was going to go for.
I think the really fault lies with the whole WB execs and the WB studios in general, because they don't really have a plan. They're trying to play catch up, and this Justice League movie was supposed to be, is the Avengers of DC. It's supposed to be the highest DC EU movie, should have been, and it's not. Right now, it's at 500 million global box office. By now, if it was great and amazing, it should be close to $1 billion by now, if not $1 billion by now. But you know, the whole, I get it, WB's kind of reactionary. Fans are like, oh, Dawn of Justice is too long.
That's the problem with WB. They're way too, Warner Brothers, I'm sorry, you're way too reactionary with your fans. And yeah, it's because you had a few missteps whenever you started this whole thing. Okay, the thing is, you started off really well with Man of Steel, my opinion. You started off really well, and then with Dawn of Justice, you gave Snyder way too much power to do whatever he wanted with that movie. And you really should have had somebody like hold the reins and be like, no, you gotta make this a little brighter. Don't make Superman broody or whatever. Like, a lot of things are wrong with that movie. I still personally enjoy it, but it has big problems. And then Suicide Squad, oh god, let's not get into that mess. Like, jeez. I mean, granted, I still enjoy it. It's kind of a fun movie to watch, but story-wise, it sucks.
Even David Ayer was saying like he regrets not making the Joker the villain, and that's how that should have went.
It really is how it should have went. You gave us an awful fucking villain, and then you have Wonder Woman, which is pretty solid, and that's like your shining achievement.
Yeah.
But then like Justice League comes in, and it's like so much different from what we've gotten so far, and now we don't understand what you're shooting for. And if this is what you're going for, like, that's fine, I guess, but like I don't think there was a really good transition. And honestly, like, if we're not gonna see any more of like Snyder's vision of Superman, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna kind of miss that. Like, you should make him like a producer so he can make sure the movie looks good, because he's really good at making a movie look good. I don't know.
It's the WB thing with the whole like, you're messing. Has to be 2 hours. No, yeah. This movie needed to be more than 2 hours. You're introducing 3 other characters that, for some reason, y'all decided not to do solo movies before you do a Justice League. I think that would have been helpful.
From what I understand, you guys are messing the movies too much anyway. Basically, the general story, what happened with Justice League is that Snyder, we all know, like, this is what I've heard, and I believe it. Snyder got done with his cut earlier this year. By like around March, I think, I heard, he presented to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers was like, this is great, awesome. But Snyder was a little worried and wanted to put just some additional scenes in there to give his movie that extra edge, because he knows that Dawn of Justice wasn't well received and whatever. So he wants to try and make sure Justice League is solid. So Whedon is hired, and together they wrote additional scenes for the movie. And then unfortunately tragedy struck Snyder's family, and he had to step back from the project. And then Whedon stepped in and was going to finish directing the movie and wrap it all up in a bow and whatever. But then Warner Brothers told Whedon, you have to reshoot a lot of the movie, and not only that, you had to cut a lot out. So Snyder's cut, his darker version, which was, from what I hear, close to 3 hours long, you took that, reshot a bunch of it, made it bright into like a clashy, fun kind of mess movie, and you cut it down to 2 hours. Thank you.
The beginning.
Should I be grateful?
Feels rushed.
Should I be? I don't know. This movie's kind of fun to watch, but it's like I feel like it should have gotten a better movie. Like it's not. I didn't feel as blown away as I was by Avengers. Avengers exceeded my expectations. This movie pretty much met mine. I was just pleased with what I got.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll take that back. I was a tad underwhelmed because the movie does not have a strong climax. It's kind of funny, actually. The thing is that I was almost hoping Superman would not really have a role to play in the movie. I mean, I knew he would be in it, but I was kind of hoping that the main fight would just be the 5 of them fighting Steppenwolf, considering his power and theirs. And it would be much more of an achievement if they were all able to take him down somehow. But at the same time, like, it's just that whenever Superman shows up, it's like, they got in the bag. It's over.
Yeah.
They got it. Because he comes in and Steppenwolf is like nothing, which is great because comic book wise, I think I've heard that's accurate. And it was awesome to see Superman just punch the crap out of him and be all like, yeah, I'm here to save the day. But at the same time, it was like a lot of people think that Superman like probably could have handled the whole situation himself easily. I disagree with that. It really did take a team to separate the mother boxes, to save the civilians and hold the army at bay and fight Steppenwolf all at the same time. And even for Superman alone, that would all have been like maybe a little too much. I thought it was funny. I thought it was great. Superman used his cold breath. I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah. And like, thank God they finally brought that in. That was awesome. And then Wonder Woman destroys Steppenwolf's axe. And Steppenwolf all was like, oh no, my axe is broken. I am defeated. He's all like done. The parademons get him, and I was like, oh wait, is it over? Oh damn! Like that was it. That was our finish.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice that Cyborg was like booyah or whatever, because I know that's his thing.
Yep.
Flash was funny. I like Flash a lot. He's one of the I liked his comedic relief. He's like, oh, Pet Cemetery. And I liked Aquaman. Jason Momoa's Aquaman. God, great. There are some scenes that you could tell were messed with, like the scene where he brings that guy in and he puts him on the table and he's like, oh, it's on him. And then he leaves, and then we see him drinking that same drink he just left with, but he's got a shirt on. And then the next shot, he doesn't have a shirt on. It's like, what? Yeah, it's a little like, we like that was some editing problems right there that y'all just overlooked, I guess.
I mean, just overall, to me, the beginning really feels rushed, where that's where you could have built on Cyborg. There's a lot of missing scenes that were in trailers that are
and the thing is that the fact that we've seen those scenes and they're not in the movie, I'm sorry, but you cannot withhold Snyder's cut from us. You can't do that. That's gonna piss us off. Because we've seen that stuff, you've teased us about it. We wanna see what that scene was gonna be like in context of the movie.
I would have loved to see more of Mira. I mean, I guess seeing her a little bit of it in this movie makes me excited for Aquaman, as like I said. But I thought Atlantis looked cool, so I'm excited to see more of that. But there wasn't an establishing shot of Atlantis.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of just
I didn't even know it was Atlantis. I thought it was just some underwater area.
Yeah. And
the thing is,
more story for how the mother boxes came.
That is another problem. That no scenery feels established.
Yeah.
Nothing feels established other aside from maybe the Batcave and Themyscira maybe. Themyscira maybe like gets away with it a little bit. But there's no other scenery in the movie, like a location that feels well established. Like a lot of people say that their first main fight with Steppenwolf and then their final fight with him if you were like to leave the room and come back, you might think it's the same area. Other than that, like the movie is a lot of fun. I like the brighter tone. The comedy was great. I like the race between Superman and Flash. That's a fan service right there because they race all the time in the comics. I like this brightful. All things said, I like this new bright Superman. I hope we see some more of him. But I do kind of hope we get just a little sense of that Hans Zimmer tone from Man of Steel, and maybe a little bit of what Superman was like for Snyder's version of Superman. But for the most part, I do still want this brighter Superman. I think a nice little mixture of blend would be nice. Like, don't go too far like Dawn of Justice. We don't want to see that again. But like, let's not go Christopher, like full-on Christopher Reeve. Just a little bit of both. Maybe on the more bright side, but let's keep that dark tone in there a little bit and make him a little unsure at some points, but like still, like when he needs to be, he's very sure of himself, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, just like he was in the final act of this movie.
And you know, one of my favorite scenes, and I think this is a lot of people's favorite scene, is the end credit scene with Deathstroke.
Yeah, that was great. That actor who's betraying him, man, and the makeup and everything, he was almost like, I forgot it was him. I was, oh shit, that's right, he is playing Deathstroke. I didn't recognize him. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like that end credit scene, I feel like that was not messed with. I think that might have been a Snyder thing.
Could be.
Because it feels like it's that right tone, or whatever. It's that dark tone, or whatever. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that Jesse Eisenberg is still gonna be Lex Luthor, but he looks like he is toned down, like he's gonna be a more serious Lex Luthor, not a ooh, or whatever, like Riddler, or whatever. Oh, I'm Lex Luthor. I'm definitely not the Riddler. Oh God, but that still makes me mad. He would have been a perfect choice to cast as the Riddler. Perfect. Hopefully, Flashpoint Paradox fixes everything.
Right. It's our only hope.
Which I'm not even sure about that, because Flashpoint Paradox, that's a big story for Flash.
Yeah.
And this is an amateur Flash.
We liked the movie. We enjoyed it for what we got. We wish we had more. We want to see the Snyder edition. We want to see an extended edition. This movie deserves it. The fans deserve an extended edition. For the most part, we have our qualms. We see the problems. We know about the problems.
Considering what it went through, in my opinion, it's not that bad. We're still holding you to a higher standard. Warner Brothers, like, you know, just fund DC to make these movies. Stop putting your hand in the pot and messing things up, okay?
Yeah,
we tell you this
what you do from your TV shows and from your animations.
Yeah, like, good lord.
Exactly. Like, do that, but in live action form.
Yeah, like, take a note from what DC is doing in that area. Just be like, yeah, we want to just do that. Like take that and then help them transition it into a live action portrayal.
Yeah.
You'll rake in the dough. You will rake in the dough, I promise you.
Yeah. So guys, that is our review of Justice League. What you guys think of the film, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more trailer reactions and reviews. And until next time,
we're out.